Beautiful ladies in Toronto. Can we take it to the club? I say beautiful ladies of Toronto is alright. Can we take it to the club? Well, let's go there. Let me see a man. Let me see a man.
The lights inside Toronto's packed stadium had barely settled when the screams began. Not because of fireworks, not because of a surprise guest, but because Bruno Mars leaned into the microphone, smiled at the crowd, and delivered one smooth line that instantly sent thousands of fans into emotional chaos. What followed became one of the most talked-about moments of the Romantic Tour 2026, turning an already massive concert into a viral sensation across social media overnight. Toronto expected a world-class performance. What the city got instead was something far more personal. From the moment Bruno Mars stepped onto the stage, the atmosphere inside Rogers Stadium shifted into something electric. The audience roared as the Grammy-winning superstar appeared under soft golden lights wearing a shimmering burgundy jacket, black silk shirt, and his signature confident grin. Phones immediately filled the air. Fans screamed lyrics before the first song even started. But according to attendees, it was not only the music that stole the night. It was Bruno's charm, humor, and unexpected romantic banter with the crowd that created a moment many described as unforgettable. He knows exactly how to make an arena feel intimate, said Los Angeles-based concert producer Daniel Reeves, who attended the Toronto stop while scouting major tour productions. A lot of artists can sing, a lot of artists can dance. But Bruno Mars understands emotional timing better than almost anyone performing today. That emotional timing became obvious midway through the show. After performing energetic hits that had the crowd dancing nonstop, Bruno suddenly slowed the pace. The lights dimmed, the band softened into a smooth instrumental groove. Then Bruno walked slowly toward the edge of the stage and began speaking directly to the audience. Toronto completely lost control. "Y'all look too beautiful tonight," Bruno said with a laugh as fans screamed back instantly. "I might miss my flight just to stay here longer." Reaction was deafening. Videos captured audience members jumping, crying, and holding onto each other as the stadium erupted. Within minutes, clips flooded TikTok, Instagram, and X. One viral video showing Bruno pointing toward a section of screaming fans surpassed millions of views in less than 24 hours. Another clip featuring him jokingly asking, "Who's breaking hearts in Toronto tonight?" quickly became one of the most shared concert videos of the week. But according to people close to the production, moments like these are not random. Bruno studies crowd psychology constantly, said touring music director Alicia Monroe, who has worked with multiple arena-level performers. He understands packing like a filmmaker. He knows exactly when audiences need excitement, nostalgia, laughter, or emotional connection. That Toronto moment looks spontaneous, but great entertainers build those instincts over years. Fans inside the venue described the atmosphere as emotional, cinematic, and surprisingly personal for a stadium show of that size. "You felt like he was talking directly to you," said Toronto attendee Melissa Carter after the concert. "There were 60,000 people there, but somehow it felt intimate." That's rare. Throughout the night, Bruno Mars balanced high-energy choreography with slower emotional moments that gave fans room to breathe. During performances of romantic ballads, entire sections of the stadium lit up with phone flashlights, creating a sea of lights stretching across the venue. Couples danced in the aisles. Friends sang together with tears in their eyes. Even security staff appeared caught up in the atmosphere as fans documented every second online. Critics have noted that the Romantic Tour 2026 feels intentionally designed to emphasize emotional storytelling rather than pure spectacle. While the production still features massive lighting rigs, pyrotechnics, and elaborate visuals, the emotional core of the show remains centered on connection. Entertainment journalist Rebecca Hall from New York described the tour as a masterclass in modern live performance. In an era where many tours depend heavily on visuals and social media moments, Bruno Mars succeeds because he still prioritizes genuine charisma, Hall explained. People leave his concerts feeling like they experienced something human, not just something viral. That human quality became even more noticeable later in the Toronto concert when Bruno paused before one of his slower songs and addressed the audience again. "I know life gets crazy," he told the crowd. "But tonight, forget the stress. Forget the drama. We're gonna sing together." The audience responded immediately. Thousands of voices echoed through the stadium as Bruno began the opening notes of a romantic hit that transformed the venue into a giant choir. Fans swayed together while giant screens captured emotional reactions throughout the audience. Several attendees later admitted online that the moment brought them to tears. Music critic Anthony Vega believes these emotional pauses are what separate Bruno Mars from many current arena acts. "He's incredibly strategic emotionally," Vega said. "He understands that audiences don't only want entertainment anymore. They want moments they can emotionally attach themselves to." Bruno creates those moments constantly. Social media analytics appeared to support that claim. By the next morning, hashtags connected to the Toronto concert were trending across multiple platforms. Fan edits, reaction videos, and audience recordings spread rapidly online. Several major entertainment accounts reposted clips from the show, helping the concert dominate entertainment discussions throughout North America. One viral reaction video featured a group of fans screaming uncontrollably after Bruno winked toward their section. Another popular clip showed audience members singing louder than the stadium speakers themselves during one emotional chorus. The online response highlighted something important about Bruno Mars' current career phase. More than a decade after becoming one of the biggest stars in music, he continues finding new ways to feel culturally relevant without dramatically changing his identity. Instead of chasing trends aggressively, he doubles down on performance quality, stage presence, and timeless crowd interaction. That approach appears to be working. Industry analysts note that the Romantic Tour 2026 is already becoming one of the most commercially successful concert runs of the year. Tickets for several upcoming dates sold out within minutes, while resale prices for premium seats continue climbing across major cities. According to entertainment business consultant Marcus Lane, Bruno Mars occupies a unique position in modern pop culture. He appeals to multiple generations simultaneously, Lane explained. Older audiences appreciate the musicianship and live vocals. Younger audiences love the viral moments and personality. Very few artists can bridge both worlds this effectively. Toronto performance demonstrated that crossover appeal clearly. Inside the venue, longtime fans who grew up listening to Bruno's early hits stood beside younger audiences experiencing him live for the first time. Some fans wore retro-inspired outfits connected to Silk Sonic aesthetics. Others arrived dressed for a glamorous date night atmosphere inspired by the tour's romantic branding. The crowd itself became part of the show. At several points during the night, Bruno interacted directly with audience members, joking with fans holding signs and laughing during spontaneous exchanges. One particularly viral moment occurred when a fan shouted that she loved him. Bruno paused dramatically before responding, "I'm trying my best over here." The stadium exploded again. Moments like these may seem small individually, but together they created a larger emotional narrative that kept fans deeply engaged from beginning to end. Instead of relying entirely on scripted production, Bruno allowed space for unpredictability. That spontaneity helped the Toronto concert feel authentic rather than mechanical. Behind the scenes, sources connected to the tour describe Bruno Mars as intensely focused on maintaining that authenticity. He pays attention to everything, one production crew member explained anonymously. Camera timing, lighting cues, audience reactions, packing between songs. He wants every person in the building to feel included. That level of detail became especially noticeable during the concert finale. As the final songs approached, the energy inside Rogers Stadium reached another level entirely. Confetti cannons exploded across the venue while Bruno and his band pushed through a fast-paced closing sequence filled with choreography, extended instrumental sections, and crowd sing-alongs. Fans danced non-stop while giant screens displayed emotional crowd reactions captured throughout the night. Then came the final goodbye. Instead of quickly exiting after the last song, Bruno remained on stage for several extra moments simply looking around the stadium while fans continued screaming his name. He placed his hand over his heart before thanking Toronto repeatedly. "You gave me everything tonight," he told the audience. "I'll never forget this." For many fans, that final statement perfectly summarized the emotional tone of the evening. "This didn't feel like a normal concert," said attendee Rachel Morrison outside the stadium afterward. "It felt like a movie scene." Videos from the show continue spreading online. Entertainment insiders believe the Toronto stop may become one of the defining viral moments of the entire tour. Several media outlets have already highlighted the concert's emotional audience reactions, while fan communities continue dissecting every interaction from the night. The success also reinforces Bruno Mars' reputation as one of the strongest live performers of his generation. While streaming numbers and viral trends dominate much of today's music industry conversation, live performance remains one of the clearest ways artists prove lasting cultural impact. In Toronto, Bruno reminded audiences exactly why his concerts continue generating massive anticipation worldwide, not because of controversy, not because of shock tactics, but because he understands emotional connection better than almost anyone currently on stage. As fans slowly exited Rogers Stadium into the cool Toronto night, many continued singing his songs while replaying concert videos on their phones. Others stayed outside discussing their favorite moments long after the venue lights dimmed. Social feeds continued exploding with reactions, edits, and emotional posts from attendees unable to process what they had just experienced. One fan summarized the night in a viral post that gained thousands of likes within hours. "Bruno Mars didn't just perform tonight," the post read. "He made 60,000 people feel special at the same time." That may ultimately explain why the Romantic Tour 2026 continues resonating so strongly with audiences across North America. Beyond the choreography, beyond the production, beyond the viral clips, the concerts deliver something increasingly rare in modern entertainment: Sincerity, and in Toronto, sincerity sounded a lot like screaming fans, emotional sing-alongs, and Bruno Mars smiling into a microphone while an entire stadium completely lost its mind.